Everyone's eyes see differently. From flies to whales to frogs to humans. No one perceives the world in the same way. This creates opinions and diversity in our world. As humans, we value this greatly, but usually it gets covered up with names. Religion, nationalism, racism, segregation.
The labels humankind puts on others can create a false perception. Stereotyping is the main form of this.
When you look at someone wearing a flannel, the thought is of maturity and masculinity.
When you see a fat person, you automatically know they aren't athletic. It's agreed that everyone does this time to time. It can be quite helpful to try and know a person before you meet them.
But this is why conflict ensues. People stereotype out of fear.
Fear for their personal safety. We prepare ourselves for what is to come. Our first level of defense is our perception.
Walking into a crowded room filled with strangers, what you see, what you feel, these observations are what you base your actions and reactions around. We're not always sure that what's in front of us is reality, so we ask ourselves, is it important? Does race really matter? Their clothes, their posture, their voice? Do these details really matter?
This is traceable throughout history as well.
Just how did Julius Caesar die again?
The senators killed him out of fear. They stereotyped that Caesar would abuse power as well as turn a blind eye to his friends and supporters. The people of Rome began to believe the acts of the conspirators. They went along with the conspiracy, consequently causing conflict.
Caesar himself used perception to gain power and popularity. When he appeared before crowds, he wore the most spectacular purple robes. Robert Greene, who wrote the 48 Laws of Power, talks about Caesar's appearances and the power he has to change others' thoughts about himself.
He said his lines as if they had been scripted. He gestured and moved through the crowd with a constant sense of how he appeared to his audience. He incorporated surprise into his repertoire, building drama into his speeches, staging into his public appearances.
He created a grand aura about himself, swayed the Romans to his side, proving that how we present ourselves truly matter. What we are others perceive about us creates who we are.
In other words, our self-image can change our ideas and even actions. This is the true power of perception, a power over the beginning of all interactions.
Love, pain, war, pleasure, all lead back to diversity in the varying ways to perceive others is all that this is.
False perception is a far greater power than we think. Even the smartest people perceive the wrong thing due to false information.
So if someone theoretically got into a fight, told me Owen did it, and then I go and think he is a menace to society. In reality, Colin did it. I will make the wrong decision and blame Owen. This causes resentment and hate towards me for future times.
One faulty word or phrase could send someone down into a deep and treacherous rabbit hole. One mistake and the whole community can be disregarded. When people stop communicating, problems start.
Within freedom riders, the diversity and scale of misperception throughout the community is so much greater than Troy High will ever be. It's hard for us to comprehend just what these students went through.
They unearthed that despite their differences, the grass is greener on the other side. Once everyone started to get along, when everyone stopped stereotyping other, when they shared their stories with one another, they could truly get along.
The stereotyping society takes part in is definitely dangerous. Just look at Caesar. His closest friends murdered him just because they perceived he would be like every other man before him.
In modern society, racism and religion ignites the raging fires of hate and fear. This false perception is the same that is shown in the Freedom Riders. They made their own lives full of fear and crime, perceiving the others in their community in a way that led to premature death of their loved ones.
Stop stereotyping. There's no need to judge others before we truly get to know them.
Perception truly matters.